G'day everyone, and welcome to this quick Space Engineers guide on what to do on your first drop into Space Engineers. As you can see, we've got a few options of drop locations and starts, but for this, we're just going to do an Earth drop. Alright, now that we've landed, we're going to go over the pod and have a look at some of the things it can do for us. For starters, we've got the passenger seat. You can have a sit in it, it'll recharge your energy. You can open it up, open the inventory up. It's got a place it can store a few things. Most times you'll have a basic weapon, a data pad, which often has the nearest trade station if you've got the economy option on. Around to the side, we've got a battery. Very important. No battery, no respawn. Odd. Survival kit. This is where you're going to be refining, you're going to be building, you're going to be respawning at. There's also a small control panel on the side where we can use and charge up our health, our energy, hydrogen, O2, all the little indicators any bottle left there, as long as you got ice. Alright, coming around, we got the O2H2 generator. As long as we got ice, we're going to be getting our hydrogen and oxygen back. It also has a nice hydrogen bottle and O2 bottle just for refills. I recommend taking that hydrogen bottle so you can fly around a little bit. And that's our pod. Now that we've had a look at the pod, what we're going to do is we need to start building our base. And what we want our base to do is do all the things that our pod can do. So have a respawn point, have power, storage, production capabilities and refining capabilities, and also have O2H2 generation. We're going to build a starting base in just a moment and get all that done. In order to start building our base, we're going to need some materials. At the moment, we got a survivor kit, and the survivor kit will only process stone for us. So, luckily we have stone in abundance everywhere we go. Start this process, we'll come around to the back where the survival kit is. Open her up. In the production, we've got ingots as our first build option. That is the one that's going to refine the stone. As you can see, it requires stone. So we can add one at a time with left click. We can add 10 with control left click. We can add 100 with shift left click. And we can add 1,000 with control shift left click. We'll leave that there. Now, we're on Earth, Earth-like planet. Stone is everywhere, right below us. So let's just start digging. I'm going to start drilling first with my right mouse button and get down to the deeper ore. Let's go. Now you notice we've got 3 layers here. We've got grass, which is your topsoil dirt. We've got dirt again, and then we've got stone. All of which will give you stone. But down here, you'll get more for your digging efforts. So I'd recommend coming down to the stone layer. You'll fill up faster, and you won't spend as much time digging in the dirt. Grab us some stone. I'm holding F while I dig, just so I can collect a little bit of stone as I dig. Now there is some quick buttons in Space Engineers that will allow you to do things much faster. For instance, I've got a load of stone. I want to put it in my ship, in a container. Fastest way for us to do that. Come here, look at the access point. So highlight it. Hold the Alt key and middle mouse button click. And that drops it in. Nice and easy. You can do this manually, but I find this to be a faster way. Now that our stone is being processed, we're getting iron, nickel, silicon, and some gravel. These are going to be used for building our basic base. Let's go mine a bunch of stone. Alright, well we've done a bit of mining. We've put a bit of stone in here. So we've got a bit of iron, a bit of nickel, a bit of silicon. Hopefully enough to get our base started. We're going to start with building some, we're going to have build some interior plates with 10. Now we'll put 20 plates in. Okay, so we're going to grab, you can also move items quickly by either double clicking to get them all, or like before, push holding control or holding shift or holding control shift, move in the 10, the 100 and the 1000. So we're just going to grab it all. Alright. Now, there's no set in stone way in order to build bases. Everyone has their own way of doing it, and it's totally up to you. But I'll give you an example of one that I like to build, and you can put your own spin on it. We'll start with a wind turbine tower. We'll place our first block, come up 10 blocks. Place a block out in each direction. And then we'll place turbines on in each direction. Bear in mind, we don't have to build all these at once. We can build them as we need them. We'll continue on and build on. Oh, looks like we're out of plates. Now, at this point, you can either start taking things off your pod if you don't want, so long as you keep the basics online, like your survivor kit, O2 H2 generator, power. Because until we get our base online, this is life. We're going to grab some plates. Just so that we don't have to mine as much. And we're going to have to take this pot away anyway. So, I may have got a little too carried away. But it's all got to go anyway. And the plates will be useful. So I've taken off pretty much most of the plates around the ship and on top of the ship, on top of the pod. So, we should have some plates to play with. Go grab some. Just building a foundation. Right, so now we have power. We have a base to work with. Start putting down some of the production facilities. We're going to need an assembler. We'll do it with the conveyor opening facing this way. Basic refinery. We're going to add cargo to the bar. A O2 H2 generator. And a survival kit. Cargo down. The O2 H2 generator. Now the O2 H2 generator has 4 openings. You can place this any which way. I like to maximize it. Maximize the amount of conveyors to work with. We'll start it like this. Then at the very end, flower kit. That's the framework, a base. So now that we've got the framework for the base down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the build planner. A really quick and handy tool for building the various blocks in Space Engineers. Starters, the build planner is, if you open your G menu, down here, you can drag blocks like so, and they give you a parts list. Or, I prefer placing all the blocks where I want them first. We'll go up to where the blocks are. To add blocks to the build planner. Get your welder out. With the right mouse button click, clicking once, we'll add it once. We have another, we'll build another one more. So we'll right click again. We can do it on the same one, or we can do it on another one. Fine. What this does is it adds the very part you're looking at with whatever components are left to place. So if you already put parts into this, it'll take those parts off the full plan. And it'll only give you parts in the list that you need to build this item. So like before, there are some quick mouse button clicks to make this process a lot smoother. Since we've got the parts in the build planner, we can look at our survival kit or any access point on a base with production capabilities while holding shift and middle mouse button clicking. It puts those items into production. Now I can tell we're not going to have enough. We're going to have to mine a little bit more stone. So I'll mine some stone, get these parts built, come back. Now that most of our parts are built, we're going to use another handy feature that Space Engineers has. Using the middle mouse button, another quick mouse button click, to pull out the items we have on our build planner. So we're looking at our access point and just clicking the middle mouse, holding no other keys. Not a perfect system, but yeah, most of the time you get all the parts you need. If parts aren't always drawn out, it could either mean you're full, the parts aren't made, or there's no conveyor system to bring you those parts through that access point. So we'll just pick a wind turbine here and we'll build it up. Go grab the parts remaining. Right, now that we've got them all, come up and we'll build the last wind turbine. Now our base has power. We can move on. And we'll build up the next two items, which is the assembler and the refinery. Go from there. Now that we've got power, basic assembler and a basic refinery, we've almost got the same capabilities as what our pod can do. It just leaves the cargo container, the O2H2 generator, and the survival kit. In order to build our cargo container, we're going to need metal grids. Now, we can either find the cobalt, which is required to make the metal grids, or we can do a little bit of a sneaky and grab the cobalt bit, the metal grids off the pod. We're going to do that. So looking at the pod, thrusters all have one metal grid on them. There's also another sneaky one underneath, which is the hydrogen thruster, which has 4. We're going to grab that one. We'll pop those into the cargo container. For the moment, we're going to add all the parts, the small cargo and the O2H2 generator into the build planner. We'll hold shift, hit a mouse button again, put those items into production. We haven't put any material in here yet, so not going to build it all. With that, we need to find some ore. Alright, with our trusty drill out, we're going to go find some ore. Now, to make life a lot easier in finding ore, we're going to go to our options, graphics, and grass density. Turn that all the way down. Going to look a little plain, but it's going to help us a lot. What we're looking for is a collection of spots or patches on the ground. Like this. On the ice lake here, it shows up as black spots. On the green grass, it'll also be black spots. On the yellow tundra areas, it'll be white or grey if you like. On other planets like Mars and Titan, it'll also be grey or white. On snow, it will be a yellow or a faint orange kind of colour. Some people call it leopard spots. Once you find one of these collection of patches, you get your drill out, because your drill actually has a short-range ore detector. Ooh, no, a hard landing. We'll have a look, and we'll see some silicon. We can see some ice, though we are on an actual ice lake. If we run around a little bit, got some magnesium as well. Now, what we're after the minute to finish our base is we need cobalt. So, go and have a search and see if we can't find a pocket which has it. Ah, here we are. Got some iron, some nickel, and cobalt. We want to save this location so we can come back to it. So one more way is to push K, come over to our GPS menu, and click New from current position. We come to where it says name, and we can call it anything we like. Iron, cobalt, nickel. Now we want some cobalt. So we're going to get right over the top of it, drill down to it, grab a little bit. Here we are with the cobalt. I think we just want to grab a little bit of cobalt for now. That should be enough for the moment. I think we want to grab some iron while we're here as well. That looks like it does it for the parts. Grab our welder. Didn't quite grab all the parts because we're full. That's okay. We can add those to the box. Pull out the remaining bits. We're almost there. Just the survival kit to go, because we have a survival kit on the pod, which has the exact same number of medical components needed. So we're going to take this, grind it down, move it all over to the base. Be aware, once you do this, you lose your spawn point, so don't do anything silly. Score! Looks like we didn't have enough plates. What we can do, we can right mouse button click, shift middle click, put those plates into production. Middle mouse button click. Just like that, it all comes together. And with that, we have our base fully operational. Does everything our pod can do and more. This is going to be a great start to your adventure in Space Engineers. And from here, you can build anything you want. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And I hope to see you again in the next one. Take it easy.